Hi everyone, it's Michelle from Country Morning Creations and I'm back with another flip through. I want to give you a little bit of background to what this journal is. I'm calling it the Enchanted Glen. I was going to call it the Secret Garden, but I think that's probably a little copyrighted and a little trite. But I love the idea of Enchanted Glen because it really does describe a little bit more about what this book is about. My son, who works at a summer camp, they do skits, and he wanted a book that looked ancient and magic that they could use as part of the skit, and I offered to make one. So, of course, if you know anything about me, I don't do anything halfway. If I'm going to make a journal, I'm going to make a journal, and this one is probably one of my favorites. This also was a great opportunity for me to use a bunch of stuff from Julie at the Old Design Shop. So this is actually a design team project for Julie's the Old Design Shop. I did use a few things from Nick the Booksmith, but mostly everything you will see in here is from Julie at the Old Design Shop. This cover is from one of Nick the Booksmith's Adventures in Booksmithing book course. It just teaches you how to make the book, but I think she also now includes how to do the hollowback binding that also is done with this. So let's get into this. I really want to show this off to you. It is actually a cloth cover, and I embossed it and then gilded it with gold gilding wax. It has a 2.5-inch spine, and I've tied the key that says Secret, which I've also gilded. These were Tim Holtz, and they were a different color, and I wanted everything to be gold. The closure this is genuine leather. It is soft as butter. It is beautiful. And I have it glued on the back and also on the front. And you'll also see that it has, let's see, is that 7 signatures? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 signatures with over 8 pages, which that's over 220 pages total. So I think this almost falls in that category of being a tome. It is huge. And obviously the key does not work. So what I've done here is I have Velcroed this key to the front, and that is how you will get into it. This is beautiful. This is from Nick the Booksmith, and she includes this in most of her courses, so if you like this paper, but I love the pinks and the greens, or I don't know that I would actually call it pink. This is almost more of a salmon-y color, but I thought it went really perfectly with the green cover, and I've aged the cover with dry brushing that's like browns and whites to make this look really ancient. That was my goal. And it's got a very botanical theme. So again, these black and whites are definitely all from Julie at the Old Design Shop, and of course links are below. I did some stenciling throughout here. I used a ton of vintage paper, so I have a lot of old French paper that is also from Monahan's Papers, links below. And this is some of my darker coffee dyed papers. I really wanted to give this a really old grungy look. This is from Nick the Booksmith, so the color pages you will see, those are from Nick the Booksmith. The black and white ones are from Julie. And the black and white ones are nice because you don't use a lot of ink. This is an old dictionary page, and you'll see when we get to the other half of it, it has a shamrock on it. And lots of, a variety of different coffee dyed papers throughout this. So again, black and whites, these are all from Julie. A little bit more stenciling. And I think, I sewed it in. This is where it talks about shamrocks. I thought shamrocks were appropriate with the green. I have a couple of different tuck spots in here. This is just some collaging I did on a Tim Holtz piece, and this is also Tim Holtz. This is from Julie, this is from Julie, and this is from Julie. So lots and lots of spaces to write. I love pink. And this is actually a order sheet for plants. So I really thought that was appropriate to go in here as well. And more of that vintage French ephemera. I have Edith Holden in here, and I actually have 2 Edith Holden books. I have a large one that's a hardback and a small one that's a paperback, so you will actually see 2 different size Edith Holden pages in here. This is a love letter from Nick. She has that in one of her printables, and it's 2 pages. It begins, "My dear wife." And this is an altered paper clip that I actually got from Kim at Serene Bookworks. She one day gave me some happy mail. We actually work at the same school, and I found some in my my mailbox. It was fabulous. So again, these are Nick, but mostly everything else is from Julie. This is just a little tuck, and this is, of course, my favorite. I actually put 2 pieces. I figured I had so many pages in here, I'm going to put 2 pieces of tissue paper in here. Isn't that pretty? I have a pair of scissors that will just fussy cut around things like that, so I don't have to tear paper. I think it goes a lot faster, and I love that look. And I have another one here. The Simple Umble of Cherry. I don't think I'm even pronouncing that remotely correctly, but those of you who know plants and botany will get it. I confess, more of that stenciling. I did a lot of stenciling in here. I kill plants. My husband won't let me have a garden. He feels too bad for them. These are actual library card holders that I've done some stamping, and that's a Nick the Booksmith. I printed that on sticker paper. That's from Julie. That's from Julie, and that is also from Julie. So these are, I think, no wait, that's actually not. This is a different paper pack that I had, and I threw that in there because I thought that was very pretty. And I have more of this, and again, the Edith Holden. So lots and lots of botanical prints in here. Of course, I have to have my ledger paper in here. No journey is too great if you find what you seek. So again, I tried to put things in here that might reference back to camp and being camping. This is Julie's. I love this. And this is also Julie's, A Rose from You. I thought that was a great piece of music to put in here. And of course, journaling. You can journal on the backs of any of these. So these are printed out actually on manila cardstock, and this is just more coffee-dyed paper. All right. Continuing on with lots of coffee-dyed paper and stenciling. This is from Nick the Booksmith. I just love her marbled papers. So I had to include a few things. Julie, Nick, Julie. So again, a lot of here, but I love to have lots of blank pages as well. So I leave a lot of pages blank. And what I love about stenciling is if I write over this, or the young lady that will receive this at the end of the summer writes over it, you can still read what is written. This is way cool. So this is actually a piece of paper from a report of the Secretary of the United States of America, and it's a late 1800s book. I'm loving that book. It has so many great things in it. I'm actually thinking about scanning a lot of stuff out of it, especially because it is from the late 1800s, so there's no copyright on it anymore, and maybe creating a few digital files and maybe putting those up on my Etsy. So if you'd be interested in that, something like that, leave a remark below, and I just might do that for you. It's a great book. And again, more of this. This is all from Julie. This is just a corner tuck. This does not flip at all. And this is all using Edith Holden's stuff. So I thought that turned out really lovely. I found a book of these receipts. So these are individual. This is actually not a copy or a printout of all these receipts. I actually found a book of them that I had from a long time ago. I love this page. So it's got botanic, botanist, botanize, botany, all of that. Again, those you'll find at Julie's. And this is vintage music, again, from Monahan's Papers. I know I sound like I'm doing a big commercial, but I really, really appreciate these people. And I hope that I've encouraged you to go check out their Etsy shops and find out more information about these people. If you don't know who they are, you need to. They are all amazing. That's a printout, but again, a lot of these pages are just I did a lot of digital stamping. I have another tuck spot here. This has, again, these are all from Julie. And any of these can be written on the back. So we're almost to the end, but this is a really big book, so it's going to take a long time to get through the whole thing. But I really do love all these pictures. Vintage French ephemera. It's real. It's not, these are not printed out. This is real music again. Those pairs are beautiful. So lots and lots. I just glued a little page. This is actually an old, it's actually not that old of a book, and I'm trying to remember what it was called, but it's another book that I have. This is actually from my friend Britta. Hi, Britta. In Germany, she sent me some happy mail. And these are both from Julie. And these are actually little Tim Holtz sayings that I have. I think I put gathered twig over it to give it more of an aged look because it was originally white. More digital stamping. But lots and lots and lots of room to write. And that's one of those things I like. I want to have a lot of room to write, even if it's, you know, it's got other papers, but you could even write on the back of these vintage pages. This is another page from Nick the Booksmith that was done on, this was her marbled paper again. And another paper clip from Kim at Serene Bookworks. And more of that vintage French. And here's some more of my tissue paper. Enjoy the sound. And we're almost to the end. More of that vintage French ephemera. And this is that smaller Edith Holden book that I have. So I have smaller pages of Edith Holden in here as well. So I love having the two sizes. They fit well in a couple of different size books that I make. More of that, and I think this is my last pocket. This is the back of some Tim Holtz. Again, this is all from Julie. And even this, again, is a, like, has to do with plants. Order flower seeds by numbers. And so it's just a receipt that I printed on copy dye paper, blank on the back, so it can be used for journaling. And then this all just tucks back in here. I put a little Tim Holtz clip there. This is Edith Holden, and this is just a little piece of tissue paper I have left over from something else. This is from my friend Britta again, and this is just some Tim Holtz that I cut out with some Tim Holtz Sizzix dies. And I was just having fun one night. And this little tiny envelope is also from Nick the Booksmith. She has a printable with all those little tiny envelopes, so I love being able to tuck little things in. And we have now come to the end, and what I did was I flipped that same paper upside down so it doesn't quite look the same. So I hope you have enjoyed this flip through of my latest journal. This one is not for sale. This is one that I have actually made for my son to use at camp. And I hope you've enjoyed it. If you are interested in asking me to do some custom work, you can direct message me or find me on Instagram. I'm Country Morning Creations on Instagram as well. There's lots of ways to get a hold of me. So if you are interested, you can also go to my Etsy shop and give me a message there. I am more than happy to do custom work like this as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this flip through, and I also hope that I have encouraged and inspired you to be creative today. Bye!